Hey, and welcome to the first step of getting your license, studying for your technician exam. And I'm Jeremy, KJ7IAZ, and this is Ham Radio Insights. Hey, I'm Jeremy, KJ7IAZ, and this is Ham Radio Insights, and I want to be the first to congratulate you on taking the first steps to getting your ham radio license. In this course, I'm going to break down the videos into different groups of the sub-elements. So the way they have these questions arranged is they have a sub-element with a certain number of groups in it. So each video is going to be a group. And then once I get all the groups in a sub-element done, I'll make one big long video. I'll string them all together. And then once I get all the sub-elements done, I'll do a real big video. So depending on how works best for you, just study and focus on one thing. Or you can, if you just need a group to practice on, or if you need an element to practice on, you can kind of navigate through there and find what you need to listen to and to watch. So the plan is I'll read the questions, I'll give you the correct answer. We're not going to talk about any of the incorrect answers. We just want to focus on what the right answer is. And then I'll put them on the screen so you can, if you're watching, you can watch and read. If you're just listening, you can learn that way too. So let's get to it. All right, this is sub-element T1, Group A. The purpose and permissible use of amateur radio service, operator or primary station license grant, meanings of basic terms used in FCC rules, interference, RACES rules, phonetics, and a frequency coordinator. Question 1. Which of the following is part of the basis and purpose of the amateur radio service? Advancing skills in the technical and communication phases of the radio art. That's a pretty easy one. Why do we do this? We want to advance the skills in the technical of the radio art. Which agency regulates and enforces the rules for the amateur radio service in the United States? The FCC. That one should be pretty easy because you got to go to their website to get all your stuff before you can even go take the test. Question 3. What did the FCC rule state regarding the use of phonetic alphabet for station identification in the amateur radio service? B. It is encouraged. Now, you're not required to use phonetics, but it's heavily encouraged. It does help when you're making contacts and stuff. How many operator or primary station license grants may be held by any one person? That's A, 1. You're only allowed to have one license. What proves that the FCC has issued an operator or primary license grant? C. The license appears in the FCC ULS database. Basically, you got to be able to go online and look this thing up before it's good. 6. What is the FCC Part 97 definition of a beacon? D. An amateur station transmitting communications for the purposes of observing propagation or related experimental activities. Basically, a beacon is something that just continuously transmits out, and people will use those for experiments and propagation testing and stuff like that. 7. What is the FCC Part 97 definition of a space station? C. An amateur station located more than 50 kilometers above Earth's surface. So you got to have something up there. That's a space station. There's satellites, the International Space Station, that sort of thing. So kind of a cool part of the hobby. 8. Which of the following entities recommends transmit or receive channels and other parameters for auxiliary and repeater stations? That's going to be B, the volunteer frequency coordinator recognized by local amateurs. So when you start getting into populated areas, there's all kinds of repeaters and stuff. People want to put repeaters up, different little stations and stuff. The best thing to do is to get with the volunteer frequency coordinator in the area so that there's not two, just say, repeaters on one frequency. So helps reduce interference. So Remember, the volunteer frequency coordinator helps coordinate that. 9. Who selects a frequency coordinator? The answer is C. Amateur operators in a local or regional area whose stations are eligible to be repeater or auxiliary stations. Basically, amateur operators in the area will select the frequency coordinator. 10. What is the Radio Amateur Civil Emergency Service, also known as RACES? A radio service using amateur frequencies for emergency management or civil defense communications. It's also a radio service using amateur stations for emergency management or civil defense communications. An emergency service using amateur operators certified by civil defense organization as being enrolled in that organization. D, this is the correct answer. All of the choices are correct. It's quite a bit of stuff. It's a mouthful. It's a big question. It's all of them on the RACES question. 11. When is willful interference to other amateur radio stations permitted? That's an easy one. That's B, at no time. Don't interfere with other people. It should be pretty self-explanatory. Well, that's it for Group A. So I hope you subscribe so you can start getting Group B, C, D, and down the line, and then the other sub-elements too. So please, in the comments, let me know what you think. Do you like the format? Will this help you? If this has helped you, please comment, because it does help encourage me to keep doing these. And if you fell asleep, it's a great time to wake up. Thanks again, 73s. This is KJ7IAZ with Ham Radio Insights.